and holidays, like all of them. Like we can go get more detailed, but like overall, you're taking on a culture that was pushed on you. One is taking on a culture that was pushed on them. The culture of Christmas, Thanksgiving, all them holidays is part of the culture. So one minute must be like, man, America this and that. Man, these people, they love talking about some white folks. White people. But then love celebrating all those holidays. From the viewpoint and perspective of the motherfucking European man. So stop.
The pagan.
Talking about, I just want to eat some food.
The pagan.
Gluttony.
The pagan.
Right.
So to speak.
Fuck out of here.
Yeah, like I said, I actually had quite a few disagreements with baby mama and shit way back when because I didn't celebrate none of them holidays. I didn't celebrate Christmas. I didn't celebrate no Valentine's Day. I don't celebrate that shit because I got this. I'm very well equipped with logic, so like when I start calculating things, I might not agree with them. So like for example, Christmas sounds cool and shit, right? Christmas sounds cool, but then I question like, okay, what exactly are we celebrating during Christmas? Like what is it? If you say Jesus' birthday, and I'd be like, oh, so Jesus was born on December 25th. I don't think that's right. I don't recall that being correct information. So it probably isn't that. Oh, what you got? Valentine's Day? Oh, okay. Well, why are we celebrating that? Oh, well, that's the day where you shower your woman, specifically woman, with gifts. And I'm like, well, why? Number one. And number two, shouldn't we just be loving each other every day? Like, why does it got to be one day where I show the most love to the person that I'm with? I think I should be doing that every day. So would that be everyday Valentine's Day or some shit? Then when it comes to Christmas, I actually remember seeing like cousins get cold, me get cold, stuff like that. Yeah, that was interesting.
That's funny.
It's interesting, you know, that we would just be playing the game, you know. And I think that one thing that makes me so different from people is I got tired of playing the game real young.
Yeah.
When I was a teenager, I got tired of playing the game.
Facts.
It's been like 20-something, almost, it's been over 20 years. I just got tired of playing the game. I got tired of playing the games that everybody else was playing. And I wanted to find, like I said, I'm trying to deeper meaning of life and why we do this shit. Why we keep doing all the same cycles. And I would explain to people in the States, like, y'all don't get tired of doing the same shit every motherfucking year, bro. Like, y'all don't...
Stuck in a loop.
Y'all don't get tired of celebrating Christmas every year, celebrating all these holidays. Y'all don't get tired of the new diseases that come out every 2 and 3 years. Y'all don't get tired of that. You don't get tired of seeing remakes of the same movie over and over and over.
Man.
Y'all don't get tired of that. How you not getting tired of that? How many different versions of the Lion King you need to see?
It's the same point. Like,
How many different versions of Aladdin? Oh, you got the cartoon, now you want a live action movie.
Like, stop.
Why y'all don't get tired of doing the same shit, bro? For real? Hell, man. That's what hell is, insanity. Y'all going insane. Russian. So every year, you celebrate Christmas every year. So you know that at that time of the year, you're going to be just as broke as you was the year before that.
And stressed.
And the year before that. And stressed the year before that. So you literally keep going through the same patterns over and over and over every year. Stressing over the same shit. But think about this. But you knew Christmas was on December the 25th, so you had all year to get whatever Christmas presents. You feel me? You had all year to get whatever Christmas presents you wanted. And you gonna wait until about October, November, December to get the shit. And then be stressed when you don't got no money after Christmas. And then, I don't know if you noticed, the day after Christmas is the day that the most returns happen. Because I work retail a lot. So the most returns happen the day after Christmas. So yeah, you gonna go.
Interesting.
You gonna go buy all that shit. All that shit gonna get returned anyway. So you gonna be back in the store. And it's just, and then all the stuff that when it comes to the Christmas sales, all that shit gonna go on sale next month.
Right.
The same stuff. Same
and
thing.
That's why I started calling holidays Merchant Day. Because now everything is a sale, and look, this stuff is, look, you should buy it because now we done took 75% off. Like, you should buy it now. Like, man, it's just not necessary. It's not needed.
I will say the whole system is very intricate when it comes to how it works.
Facts.
And I got the chance to sit alone with myself and not be around people, as I've said many times in the States, and just like watch. Like, I would just keep looking at all the patterns happen over and over and over and be asking the questions that people weren't asking. Eventually, I stopped looking at people and I was like, you know what? I'm the observer of this shit. I'm just observing it. It's going to always exist. People going to keep doing the same stuff over and over. Even when there's new humans born, they're going to go through the same patterns. Man. I just got to not be there to see that shit. So I ain't got to complain about it and do all this other. I'm not going to be there. They got it. They got it. I know it's there for them to experience. It's there because it's supposed to exist. It's the hell paradigm. They're doing the same stuff over and over, stressing about the same things over and over and over. Having holidays, all of that shit. You gonna vote for a president every 4 years. You ain't gonna get tired of that either. You gonna vote?
I did that once and I was done.
Y'all ain't gonna get tired of that. You gonna think about it now. People vote for a president every 4 years and always complain.
Yeah.
Every time. Like, damn, I fucked up. I shouldn't have voted for this motherfucker. Y'all don't get tired of that?
That's exactly.
Y'all get tired of that? How you not get tired of that, cuz? That shit crazy to me, yo.
I literally said that. Like, damn, I made it wrong. Damn, I was not supposed to vote. Damn, man. That's funny.
Yeah. It's the same shit over and over and over and over again.
After, 20 years, I was done.
You said 20 years, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been done with it for 20 years. 36 now. Seeing the same shit play out over and over. Hated school, seeing all this stuff. I had a group of friends in school. For whatever reason, we was just like, I don't want to say objective based. Like, we were just ahead of the game. You know, I was in the honors program, get the program and shit. So we be looking at life way differently. And I hated school. I hated it so much. I hated it. I did not want to finish school. I was just like, man, this shit trash, man. It's trash. It's trash. You don't give me no piece of information that I'm not going to be able to readily apply to my future. That shit is bullshit. I don't care about trigonometry. I don't care about calculus. I don't care about all that stuff, yo. I don't care about it. Don't teach me this. Don't teach me. I don't, If it ain't going to help me in my future, I don't want it. That's why I like college. Because college was specifically designed to help me with whatever career I wanted in the future.
See.
But high school.
That's how I felt about, like the trade schools that I went to. Like,
trade schools are great.
It's going to teach me what I need to know, the skills I need to have to do what I want when I get out of here. Yeah, definitely.
I even remember I had met a guy, I want to say his name was Philip Tremblay. Yeah, Philip Tremblay. Not Nick, Philip Tremblay. And he dropped out of school when he was 16. So I ended up meeting up with him when he was 17. And he was like, dropping out of school and getting my GED was the best thing I ever did. He said, it's going to be plenty of people in school right now that's going to go to college and I'm always going to make more money than them. He said that at 17. I was like, hey, how did it make me feel? I was excited. I was like, yeah, he on point. Because I was taking college prep in school. I wasn't taking tech prep. Right. So when I actually ended up switching to tech prep, but he was saying, yeah, you really don't even need the high school diploma. And then I had other friends who were the children of foreigners. And they was like, man, my mom got her own business. My dad got their own business with an 8th grade education. With an 8th grade education. They didn't even go to all this stuff, the high school stuff. They didn't even do all of that. And we got businesses and we got all this money and all this other shit.
And well off.
Well, yeah, doing great. I'm like, damn, bro. With 6 and 7 and 8 kids. Children, excuse me. So, yeah, man, I got tired of all these patterns years ago. Years and years and years ago, man. When you see me, you looking at somebody that's been ahead of the game for a long time. Long time thinking critically. Profound. Thought-provoking. Getting on people's nerves because they don't feel like thinking about this shit. They don't even feel like thinking about it.
Oh, you just religious. People start calling you that. You just real religious, and I'm like,
I'd be like, you sacrilegious, motherfucker.
Yeah, I didn't know that word at the time. I used to just be like, well, actually, you are, because religion means to tie one back and to hold one back.
To bind.
From consciousness. So, no, you don't have this awareness, so you're the religious one. Talking about, oh, I have a relationship.
We don't say tie back. It means to bind. To bind.
Yeah, to bind. To bind up. What are you binding up?
What you holding
the
on
mind?
to? What you holding on to?
Yeah, so.
I think.
I used to go back and forth with people.
Side note. Personal opinion here. I think that because I use the word God when I talk, people think I'm this highly religious person, and I'm not. I just have a certain understanding and clarity of life and this experience, but it does not make me a Christian or a Muslim or Israelite or any of that shit. I just actually have a certain connection with nature, with energy, with light, with clarity. But it does not make me a religious person. I would not say that I'm a religious person at all. As a matter of fact, you can't separate religion and politics. There is no separation of church and state. Do you know that? You ever remember in high school there's supposed to be separation of church and state?
They said it's separate, but
it actually doesn't exist.
Right.
You don't even have war without religion. They don't. Hold on, let me say it again. There is no war without religion. That's not how that shit works. Every war you can ever name was founded upon some kind of religion. You got one group thinks one thing, one group thinks another thing, and then they fight each other over resources. The real issue is the resources. So they use the religion to program the people so they can take the resources.
Right.
So yeah, it's a whole lot going on with all these patterns, Joe. It's a lot, and I just peeped them a long time ago because I was willing to take the risk and put myself in a space of solitude so I could see all of it without outside opinions and distractions and any of that. So if a person would try to argue with me, I'm going to get them quiet real fast with some intensity. Yeah. Anything else you want to add? You said Jeremiah 10. Jeremiah 10 is about the Christmas tree thing.
Yeah. I know today is their Thanksgiving, but because somebody brought that up last night. We was on Thanksgiving, but he was like, oh, like people's awareness are changing because now they have. I was at the store the other day and I seen a black Santa Claus. I said, Santa Claus is fake nonetheless, man. You talking about now he play? Like now that's good. Like
people, the image of Jesus and the image of Santa Claus depends on the image of the nation, because they're always going to put the face of that character, the face of their nation on that character, and all of it is idolatry.
Yeah, I know.
That's what's so interesting about it.
I know. It's just like when you want to start telling other people that, it's like they get upset, like. Like, dang, do you hate me because I tell you the truth? You're not supposed
to worship idols. So then in Catholicism they have Santo, Mary, and Maria. They got all these images because you ain't supposed to have no images.
No.
You got words, you got concepts, but the images, that's when the idolatry starts. So, hey,
and that's one of
call
the
it what
top
you want.
10.
But they all religious and all this other stuff, and they know this and they know that. If you got to go to your preacher or your deacon or your reverend to learn the truth, you ain't no follower. You ain't following the Bible. You ain't following your religion. You should know the answer. Why is you being codependent on the person that's reading the book? You're supposed to be reading the book at the house. You're supposed to know it. Hey, what do people do if they reverend or they deacon or they preacher or they pastor say something wrong? Is they really gonna stand up and be like, hold on now, pastor?
Right. Excuse
hold
me.
Hold on now, reverend.
Excuse me. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but what you just said was incorrect.
That was
like,
right.
What about this scripture right here? They not doing that.
Ain't no challenge.
Amen. Oh yes. Oh. Just like, come them all.
They ain't gonna
And
challenge
then
that.
I used to hear people say, well, my pastor said, no, ma'am, what does the Bible say? And I remember I had a period where I like started going back into the church, right?
Mhm.
And I was just listening. I'm like, oh my goodness, I used to fall for this shit. Because I'm like, he read one scripture, and then he started telling a fucking personal story, and then he shut the book. We be here for an hour and a half, and he read 2 scriptures.
Yeah.
Stop.
I told you.
I said, this is just motivational speaking in here. And like, okay, that's cool, but don't be trying to talk about you, about the Bible, fam. You read 2 scriptures in a whole hour. But you passed that money plate around about 4 times, though. You did that part. You passed that tray around more times than you read the scriptures.
Mm-hmm. Why is it Trey got to go around the building so many times? Why is it that I used to ask this question about church? I say, if God is clarity, why is it that the windows in the church is tainted and stained? Why the light gotta be changed? Why I can't see the outside of the plants and the trees in the church? Why it gotta be colors and shit on it? That's interesting.
That is.
What's
That's
up
a
with the
new
regular
one for me,
windows?
too.
I was
Like,
like,
oh,
what's up with the
wow.
regular windows? I want to be able to look outside and see nature and all this other stuff. You mean to tell me can't nobody look inside and see what you're doing? See what we doing in the church and see how we're all in communion together? Is people not supposed to see that shit? What's up with that?
Yeah, that's the new one for me too. I like.
Oh,
how
I
you
talk
said
about all of that shit, man. I talk about all of
Yeah.
it. And don't argue with me. Soon as they be religious and shit, I'm like, you better not argue with me because I'm just finna piss you all the way off. I'm getting them demons all the way out. You better not do it with me.
Don't do
I'm
it.
gonna be super humble. Super. Quit making you question everything, man. But yeah, the stained glass thing got me.
This
It's stained,
everything,
it's
like,
tainted. Like, come on, man.
Like, I got to the point I was just like, no, like the Christians or the pagans, man, because they be saying Jesus, that. But when you bring out scriptures that they're supposed to keep and follow and respect, they got an argument for it. When it comes to their dietary laws, to the holy days they're supposed to keep, to the customs, everything.
To the Sabbath.
They don't. That's the simple one. Sabbath means 7. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Why are we here on Sunday? My dad used to tell me, oh, well, as long as you taking the time to worship God, like, based on the scriptures, God wants you to do it on the Sabbath. So, yeah, you might do it Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, or the first day, the second day, the third day, because we stopped saying Monday and Tuesday because those are pagan gods. Okay, but God told you it was a commandment to do it on the Sabbath. So,
There's
why
really
is that
no
so
way
hard to do?
to get away from the pagan thing. Number one, Christians are Catholics. That's not up for debate.
Not at
The
all.
mother and father of Christians, Catholics. Okay, that's it. Now, people talk about Rome and what Rome did and do as the Romans do, shit like that. And the days of the month came from Romans. The days of the week came from Romans. Whether in English or Spanish,
See?
same thing. So it's like, it's such a mind fuck.
Yeah.
It's a really good one. It's a really good one. It's really good. It's very articulate. The word is sophisticated. And if we pull up the etymology of sophisticated, it's actually not a good thing.
Oh.
It's kind of in alignment with the word cunning. But pull up sophistry or sophisticated. I actually started refraining from using that word because of the etymology of it. But it's like being, it's like being around an evil genius. If a genius exists that does good, then a genius that has to exist that does evil as well. It's like being an evil genius.
Sophisticated.
Sophisticated. Sophisticated. Sophisticated. Etymology. Bacardi.
I know, right? That stuff you have me laugh.
No, see that? The very first definition, right? Sophisticated. Now, usually before I read it, usually when we use the word sophisticated, we're talking about something that's like high class or upper, and I'm like, yeah, pull up the etymology of that thing.
Oh, snap.
And it says, adjectives circa 1600 mixed with a foreign substance, impure, no longer simple or natural, sophisticated.
Wow.
So I stopped using that. I started studying words. Hey, check this out. I'm going different topic right now. Let me digress. Juju posted some shit, from enlightened by Legio Bishop, blah blah blah, and it was about spelling, and it was some guy talking about spells, and I'm like, he was talking about the word born came from born, that meant barren or something, and I'm like, nigga, the word born actually comes from the word bear, which means to hold. That's why you born, because you were held. Yeah. You were held in your dad's sack, and then you were held in your mom's stomach. That's what makes you born, nigga. That whatever that guy was saying. Then it said something about children and the child and the rent and the whatever that shit said. Something about the pay rents and the parents. So shit like that be getting to me because I love words and I love spells. I love it. I love it. So it's like once I learned that part of us, a part of me being taught backwards or living backwards, being evil, was how I spoke.
For sure.
I remember Musa one day said to Ezekiel that it really ain't the words you're just supposed to be going public and talking and proclaiming the kingdom and doing this. And I'm like, nigga, it's the words. Even if you proclaiming anything to make public, to cry out, you got to be using certain spells. You got to be using certain words. You got to.
Yeah.
And they got to be correct because you might not know what energy you throwing out to somebody. You may have good intentions, but you could be using a word that's incorrect.
Absolutely.
So instead of throwing something out that's for healing or growth, you can actually be hurting somebody through the words without knowing it. You know? There's a whole lot of shit going on, man. And you really need solitude. Go ahead.
Pardon me. Even when they were saying last night about the panel, like, oh, this and that, and it means this and this. And I'm like, this makes me think about etymology again, because a lot of times people want to argue about words that we use, like the word nice means foolish.
Correct.
And it's like, that's something simple that we can all go look into. And they're like, oh, well, in this day and time, it means this. No. It still means foolish. Yeah. You just don't use it correctly.
That's the difference. It's not, the meaning doesn't change. The usage of the word may change.
Right.
However, the meaning does not change. It's there. Because if the meaning,
when somebody says have a nice day, they're telling you have a foolish day.
An ignorant day.
Whether they're aware of it or not, they still did that. And that's why you're saying it's important to know these words, to know what you're throwing out.
So what I'll do is I'll be like, if somebody told me to have a nice day, I'd be like, have a great one.
Right. Like my dad, because I showed him I was at the beach, and he was like, must be nice. I was like, no, it's great.
It's fantastic. Certainly not nice. Not foolish
and I told him what that word means. I already told him. He liked to throw that word out a lot. Nice and smart.
Two words that are very common. What I did was, at a certain point in my house in Georgia, I had my table. Like, as soon as here's my front door, here's the carport. Front, just like this. Here's the carport right here. Here's the front door. And there's a table. I had 3 different dictionaries up there. Opens. When people come in, they're the dictionaries right there. When we start talking, I'd be pointing out. People would come over, I would point out words. I'd be like, look at this word right here. Look at this word right here. Look at that word right here.
Time, right? So there was, if somebody said it, you'd be like, let's go look that word up real quick. Yeah, I like that.
Because people would just hear a word or hear a concept and just regurgitate it without actually understanding what they're saying. So when I listen to people speak, even if I hear you speak and I hear you say certain things,
you get on
I'm gonna be like, she don't know what she's talking about.
Yeah, you get on
She has no idea what she's talking about. Hey, I watch Harry Potter.
Facts.
I watch all the Harry Potters.
Yeah.
And that's all about spells.
It is. And they're saying something.
What did they tell Hermione and the redheaded dude?
Ron?
It was, Ron Weasley. He was like, they were like, look, when you get this book, you need to know the spells. You can't say the spell wrong because it's gonna make something happen.
Yeah.
And you gotta know what they mean.
Yeah.
Same thing with words.
Facts.
Same Same thing with words.
Oh, yeah,
Same thing with words. You got to know what it means. You got to know how to use it. Everything.
Yeah.
It's the same exact thing. I like the fact that I gave myself that Harry Potter concept.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how it is. People just, Taj Tree said, and I love saying this. He said, don't say what you mean. He said, don't mean what you say what you mean.
Mm-hmm.
You got to know exactly what you're saying and what you're doing. All of these patterns and programs and stuff, man, all this concept, it's a lot of trickery and deceit. I was born in the world of deceit.
Mm-hmm.
I was born in that world.
Yeah.
That means I had it, my mom had it in her, my dad had it in him, and so on and so forth. And there was a whole landmass and a whole simulation and situation attached to it. I was born in that world. And I had to see the deceit and acknowledge it so that I can do the opposite of it.
Yeah.
That's why I'm at where I'm at. That's why I do what I do and talk about what I talk about. That's why I have the vision I have.
Right.
Because I actually had enough solitude to be without distraction and see these things. But them holidays, man, back to that holiday shit, man. No bueno. No bueno. I like Puerto Rico because even though there may be a few people celebrating holidays, Puerto Rico is more about just enjoying, like any kind of tropical environment. It's more about just enjoying life and treating people right, shit like that. It's not necessarily religious. The religious people are the people that usually have the most problems. The spiritual people usually don't have the problems like that, but the religious people, they usually have the most issues. Side note, when you saying you spiritual, that means you practicing the art of breath, yo. Spirituality, is the art of breath. That means the art of speaking, because you use your breath when you speak. Sure. You talking and casting the correct spells is your breath work. Because then you breathing with intention. You using your words with intentions. That's your breath work. I don't want to hear nothing else. I don't want to hear no, I'm sitting Indian style and okay, cool. Now what? Now what? Is that going to give me something in life? What is that supposed to do? I can do breath work by jogging and running. I can get the same breathe. I get way more air by breathing that way. I get way more air by sleeping instead of way more air. I ain't got to do that. That shit entertainment to me. Sitting down Indian style, ain't no disrespect, but that shit just entertainment to me. When it comes to putting oxygen in my body, I do it by cardio and sleep. Cardio and sleep. Now I understand the spiritual concept of, well, you want to have conscious deep breaths. Conscious deep. Okay, I bet you I take a conscious deep breath when I try to lift up this weight. I bet you I take a conscious deep breath when I'm being active and building things and constructing things. I think I know I'm taking conscious deep breaths when I'm talking like this, when I'm long-winded. It's more than one way, yo. It's more than one way to practice the art of breath. And breath means spirit. So my spirit is moving a certain way when I use my words. Breathe with intention like this. Okay.
And hold.
And hold it in.
Hold for 10. Hold for 10.
And it's supposed to be a cycle. But you want me to hold my breath in. And it's fact that holding in your breath kills your brain cells. Ooh. Let me say that again.
Those feelings, huh?
Holding your breath actually kills your brain cells.
Well, I hear about to pass out.
You see, so people have a lot of stuff, man. There's a whole lot of pseudoscience out here. And I ain't here to argue with your ass, yo. I don't give a fuck who you are. I'm not here to argue with you. I'm here to sit you down if you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. That simple. That simple. I'm gonna open your eyes. I'm gonna provoke some thoughts, but that's about it, man. You come at me with the fake stuff, I'm gonna come at you with the real hard. Straight to the point. Very sharp. What you writing down over there?
Because I realized Mercury's not on here.
The Mercury went down there?
No.
What?
Sun, Moon, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto.
Uranus.
North Node, South Node. And I was like, oh, wait, Mercury.
Yeah, Mercury. Where's Mercury? Mercury's at home in Virgo and Gemini, exalted in Virgo. Supposedly it's not exalted in Gemini, but you know, it's about the same.
Home in Virgo and Gemini,
Yeah.
and exalted in Virgo.
Exalted in Virgo. Though Mercury in Gemini is supposedly the most quick-witted position, then that would mean the detriment, or excuse me, no, the debilitation would be in Sag and Pisces. I know Pisces most certainly is a debilitated. So yeah, plus those are all the mental signs, which is interesting. So you're either gonna have debilitated mental or exalted mental. So we got all these sciences out here. You got your biology facts. When I was young, what got me away from religion was science. And back then it was a big issue about religion versus science, religious versus science. Back then.
You said it wasn't?
It was the issue.
It seemed like
I kept saying, yeah, well, it's always gonna exist. It's supposed to. It's always gonna exist. Religion versus science. For example, if you read the Bible, or if you're a Bible reader, where are the graves of everybody in the Bible?
People get upset hearing stuff like that.
Where are the graves for everybody, all the characters in the Bible? Where they at? Because you know humans love to save history and save information. Where the graves at?
I remember I asked my ex about that too, right? Because I had got on this YouTube and they were making points like that, and I was like, I say I want the truth, so like when I'm hearing this, like I don't want to get upset because I feel like that's a valid question that they're asking. So I went back to him and I asked, like, all those ships, that bring all the millions of people over here, where are those ships? He got defensive and upset, start yelling. I was like, that's not even him to even really yell. So when he was yelling, I was like, oh, I hit something.
Smell that. Smell like a ripe papaya right there.
Mm-hmm.
Smell real good.
Yeah, you see, I took a dump. I went back in. I had to smell it again. Yeah, it smells really good.
Yeah, there's a lot when it comes to this world, yo. When people realize that they've been taught backwards.
Because, like, the thing is, like, with that again, like, well, where are those grave sites at, right? Mm-hmm. And somebody might come up with, like a type of conspiracy thing, like, oh, well, they covered it up because they don't want you to see. But they keep pulling out all those, what are they called? Egyptians, though. They steadily pulling them up out the grave.
They covered it up. And all the people that say they can't tell you who they is.
Yeah, because I do that a lot, and I'm like, who is they? Who is they? Because I used to be big on saying that too. They doing this. But that was me living in victimhood. Because I kept giving my power away to an invisible thing. So that same thing of even the whole thing of God. Giving your power away to an outside force called God. Mm-hmm. Like, it was like I was doing the same thing. Mm-hmm. And then, the government or the elites or so I'm saying that's me telling myself I'm beneath them. Like, no, I gotta start talking like that.
Correct. Okay.
Cause now I do that a lot now. When I get on the internet and I hear people, they, I'm like, who are they? Who is they?
This papaya certainly would be sweeter.
It could be sweeter.
When it's more yellow. But it's certainly manageable.
Yeah, especially like this piece, like on the ends.
That's
manageable. Where it's really good at. Mm-hmm.
I can deal with it. So
I'm grateful.
I am. When they ripen more, we'll be all over. Mm-hmm. And of course, I'll be giving them out to the neighbors and mis vecinos.
Yeah, that's good energy.
Of course. Yeah. I was watching a video earlier from old Three Guy TV talking about how we've been taught and programmed that we're separate of nature, which is something I used to talk about as a youth. Because I'd be like, why do humans put themselves above animals when the human is an animal? Mm. Human actually is an animal. So some of the responses would be, humans are more sophisticated than animals. More sophisticated. I'm like, no, we got blood just like they do. We breathe just like they do. We're sentient beings just like they are. We got chromosomes just like they got. DNA just like they got. Eat the same food just like they do. What do you mean?
That's interesting.
Oh, well, we speak words. We speak words. They don't speak words. Well, they communicate with sounds just like we do.
Right, because that's what words.
So,
that's sound.
Just sound. What's the difference?
It's funny. This is coming up again because on Instagram, there was people on there talking, and a lady has said, we got that animalistic in us too, and they was like, I'm not no animal. Like they jumped on her quick. Wait, I ain't no animal. I ain't no animal. She was like, I gotta be honest. Like I know I'm human, but I got animalistic ways.
The word anima, A-N-I-M-A, means spirit. Right. What does it mean when you're animated? A-N-A-M-A-T-E.
Yeah, that comes from the breath. Oh snap!
Mm.
Yeah, see, this make conversations like this just make me want to take more time than just reading dictionaries.
Yeah, that's all I used to do.
Because it's and I had that thought in me a long time ago. I was like, I'm just gonna get a dictionary and just read it because I remember being a young girl just wanting to know more words.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, man, I'm on course. I'm on course because I'm tapped into the source.
But part of the reason why people think they're above animals is because in Genesis, it talks about the humans having dominion over.
Yeah. So now we think we're better.
No, and it's not about that. It's something, if you got dominion over something, you should want to protect it and preserve it.
Yeah, dominion. Yeah, you're right.
So if you got dominion over the animals, that also means that you keeping the animals in the home and you keeping them safe. You're the dominion. So you got to be helping them. Of course, now we're at this state of consciousness. Hey, you can have at it, by the way. But now we're at this state to where we can we understand that we're everything. Not that we have dominion over animals, we're the animals too. And the animals are symbols in our mind. They represent a symbol. They got certain qualities and traits.
Yep.
It's actually the exact same thing that the Egyptians were doing when they would have the human body with the animal head, which means that the human was thinking the same way the animal does. So if you see Heru with the falcon head with a human body. So when you being a hero or a Heru, you got the falcon head, you flying high above all the rest. You see? When you being a Heteru, which would be the cow, then that means you're practicing your motherly instincts. You know what I'm saying? If you had Khnum's head, the potter, that means you being real creative. Or Ptah, or being a Ptah. You see? So all of it is symbolism. Don't have nothing to do with religion. It's symbolism. There's a whole lot of living, to live backwards, you got to be taught backwards.
Mm-hmm.
If you talk forward thinking, all you can do is go forward. I teach life. That's why I talk about forward thinking. I teach life. And in order to live, you got to move forward. Yeah. You can't be thinking backwards or doing shit backwards.
That's true.
That's why I study so many words. That's why I garden and stay in tune with nature. That's why I talk about what I talk about and do what I do. Because I'm moving forward. That's why my life is abundant. I'm moving forward instead of moving against myself.
Indeed.
And after this video, I want to get to this astrological chart. So peace and love with that. Peace and love.